Please be seated and welcome Dean Hashim Sarkis to the lectern.
Class of 2023, are you ready? You'd better be. The mayor of Boston is here. And your parents, families, and friends have come here from all around the world. And your professors are all lined up in full regalia to see you off in pomp and circumstance. So let's do it. Welcome all to the conferring of degrees ceremony for the School of Architecture and Planning at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Dear guests, as you can see, the graduating students are wearing colorful cords which represent their respective departments or unit. The Department of Architecture is in red, the Program in Art, Culture, and Technology green, the Department of Urban Studies have chosen the color orange, the Center for Real Estate blue, and the program in Media Arts and Sciences in pure white. With this array, we are proudly adding our SANP rainbow to a range of rainbows that represent diversity and unity in this world. Even though some still deny it, this world is round. This feature, according to philosopher Immanuel Kant, is the main reason why we are a community, why we are hospitable to each other. Had we been living on a continuous plane, we would stray. We would be strangers with no responsibilities towards each other. The limited, curved surface of the Earth makes us come back. It brings us together. In your time at MIT, you have proven that the world is indeed round, whether by working to introduce universal accessibility into the curriculum, or to protect our limited resources, to recognize the rights of the indigenous peoples, or to better organize ourselves into a caring community. Class of 2023, we know that you will come back. But before you make your rounds, we want to express our gratitude for everything you have given MIT. At the One MIT commencement ceremony in Killian Court this afternoon, and following tradition, the undergraduate class of 2023 will offer a gift to MIT. We, the school, believe that it is you who deserve a gift. To thank you, the school presents each member of the graduating class with a kite, a symbol of your well-earned freedom, of your high ambitions. With this modest gift, to quote, "You can have your own wings and fly up to the highest height." This was from Mary Poppins, by the way, not Immanuel Kant. It is a kite that you can decorate yourselves, maybe with the signatures and best wishes of your colleagues, a keepsake from the community that you have shaped. Each kite also comes with a license to fly it anywhere around the world. But please do refrain from flying it in Killian Court this afternoon, even if the winds are favorable. Another very special communal gift we would like to offer you, and to our guest speaker, the Mayor of Boston, the Honorable Michelle Wu, is a musical composition by our very own Professor Todd Macover, Director of the Media Lab's Opera of the Future. Todd has been bringing cities around the world together through his innovative compositions, and now he has created one for you and for Boston. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Maestro Todd Macover.
Good morning, everyone. What a pleasure to be here, and what a happy day. It's my favorite day of the year, this graduation. Thank you to Hashim for asking for a little bit of original music for this celebration, so we've created a special piece for you. It's a gift to the graduating class and to all the families who are here, and also in honor of Mayor Wu being here, who, as you know, is an incredible musician, and some of her work ends up in this piece you will see. So to make this little piece for today's occasion, I decided to base something on a series that we've been working on called City Symphonies. These are projects where we go into a city and make a piece of music about that city using normal music, but also using sounds like that child over there that we collect and put into the music. And the trick with these projects is we invite everybody in the city to collaborate together to make these compositions. And we've done these all over the world, started in Toronto, we've done them in Europe, in Australia, all over the United States. But my dream has always been to do one right here in Boston, which we haven't done yet. And I've always thought of it as a hub symphony, something we really want to do. And I thought that for today, we would give you a little glimpse of what a symphony like that might be for Boston. So we're calling it a little hub symphony. And it is kind of little. It's 3 minutes long, so it's not so long. Instead of having a full symphony orchestra, we have 3 incredible musicians, Julia Glenn on violin, Jess Shand on alto flute, and Josh Gordon on cello. And for these 3 minutes, we've collected and put together quite a few things. We've recorded in different parts of Boston, places you know, ordinary places, lots of different people. In some iconic places where people gather, you'll hear some sounds you might recognize from a place like this. Also a place like this, and as some of you may know, that's a Symphony Hall from a few weeks ago, but there was somebody else on stage in Symphony Hall a few weeks ago, and I'm sure you know this. And if you listen carefully, maybe you don't have to listen too carefully, you might find bits of the middle movement of the Mozart piano concerto that Mayor Wu played in Symphony Hall in the middle of this composition, so you might recognize that. We also used our program Hyperscore, which uses graphics to allow anybody to compose music. We did a series of workshops at the Boston Children's Museum. So various children wrote little compositions for our miniature composition. This is Max Ade and Anna Schoen from my group at the MIT Media Lab who mentored kids at the Children's Museum. And the last element that we combined, this is Manaswi Mishra, a PhD student at the Media Lab, who's one of the top people in thinking about the future of AI in music. And Manaswi took all of the sounds that we collected, ran them through a bunch of AI programs. He actually calls his system AI Radio, to give them all a twist that might combine Fenway Park and Mozart in unusual ways. So all of that goes into 3 minutes that we're calling a Little Hub Symphony, and we hope you enjoy it.
Todd, thank you so much. Thanks for the team as well. It's a moving piece. To be continued, right? Mayor Michelle Wu's story reads like an American dream, woven out of individual achievement and collective action. She is the first woman and person of color to serve as mayor of Boston. She is a daughter of immigrants, Boston Public Schools mom to 2 boys, MBTA commuter, and fierce believer that we can solve our deepest challenges through building community. As mayor, she is working in coalition to deliver bold, systemic change and make Boston a city for everyone. Mayor Wu has been a voice for accessibility, for transparency and community engagement in city leadership. First elected to the Boston City Council in November 2013 at the age of 28, she is the first Asian American woman to serve on the council. In 2016, she was elected president of the City Council by her colleagues in a unanimous vote, becoming the first woman of color to serve as council president. On the council, she led Boston's paid paternal leave ordinance and healthcare equity ordinance prohibiting discrimination based on gender identity. And she also authored the Communications Access Ordinance, which guarantees translation, interpretation, and assistive technology for access to city services, regardless of English language proficiency or communications disability. Class of 2023, as you can very well see, Mayor Wu is actually building the just city, the city that you have dreamed about, where equity and opportunity walk hand in hand. So do citizenship and hospitality and technology and humanity. A city where the future is shaped by community engagement in planning, in design, and in decision-making. Mayor Wu, our school's faculty and graduates have historically been very invested in working with Boston to realize its visions. To name a few, I.M. Pei, Norman Dreventhal, Jack Meyer, and Kevin Lynch, who helped shape many parts of the city, including Government Center, Post Office Square, and the skyline of Back Bay. And then Tani Lee and Mel King, who led the resurrection of their beloved Chinatown and South End, and our current faculty, like Carolyn Crockett and Kairos Shen, who have served the city from City Hall. And today, Todd McIver, who turned the bustle of Boston into a beautiful opera. Today, Mayor Wu, we also remain committed. We remain poised and ready to help. You have all it takes, but just in case you need help, we have a kite for you too. Now, this kite, as you can see, is very special. It has MIT written in big on it. Should you need any help of any sort, whether in your efforts to deter the dark demons of deleterious divisiveness, or the rabid rats of reform resistance, or Godzilla itself, all you have to do is fly the kite from your office window in City Hall. We will instantly spot it from across the river, all very high-tech, you can see, and rush across the bridge to the rescue, just like we did in Wakanda Forever. Venerated congregation, class of 2023, please join me in hailing Boston Forever and in welcoming to Cambridge, to MIT, and to this podium, the Honorable Michelle Wu.
Good morning to all. Thank you so much, Dean Sarkis, and I want to thank all of the leadership, faculty, and staff for inviting me to join in this very special moment. Congratulations to the class of 2023. The future is yours. And to the planners and architects, designers and innovators who will build community and build our future, today we celebrate and honor you. And congratulations as well as your family, friends, and loved ones share in this moment with you. Their love and support got you through years that we hopefully will never see again, years that required all the love and support that we could collectively muster. And I am so deeply honored to share this with all of you today. My dad was an engineer. My dad is an engineer and scientist, and I remember many years ago when we were first visiting schools to think about college, how long we lingered in the halls of MIT, and I could tell in his heart that he very much wanted me to be here instead of down the road. And so I think between being on stage at Symphony Hall and now finally making it to an MIT graduation, my parents are finally proud of me. Thank you for that. And despite the many nice and generous things that Dean Sarkis said in his introduction, I know the real reason I was invited to speak today isn't because of my role as mayor or various barriers that have been broken down, but as the only person without an architecture degree who believes Boston City Hall is beautiful. I hope anyone who's not familiar will come and visit us when I'm flying that kite out the window and take a look. Sure, it's been voted the ugliest building in the world. Sure, it's been called a giant concrete harmonica or fossilized spaceship. But we know they just don't understand brutalism. I do have to admit, I didn't always love City Hall. Growing up as the oldest kid in an immigrant family, our occasional, unavoidable interactions with government were always experiences filled with embarrassment and dread, language barriers, cultural barriers, that sense of intimidation. And so when I first entered Boston City Hall, starting an internship with then Mayor Tom Menino as a grad student, I found myself in one of the most iconic buildings in the city and in the country, at the heart of a community with the greatest resources on earth, the best colleges and universities, filled with the best and brightest minds, the birthplace of wind tunnels, RSA encryption, modern urban design. But instead of feeling empowered, I felt small within those large concrete spaces, reminded of why my family avoided trying to be seen at all in those places. Because even where resources and services are abundant, they can still feel so far away for our families and residents. A week into my internship, I was invited to join a meeting with Mayor Menino himself. I got a note that it was happening in 10 minutes and I should make my way over to his office. So I grabbed my notebook, checked my pen ink a couple different times, was ready to take detailed notes and volunteer for whatever assignment might come out of that. I walked in and sat down alongside about a dozen people around that long wooden table. And when the mayor arrived, the teams from Meccano and Sasaki began presenting on their plans to turn the long vacant Ferdinand building, the former furniture store in the heart of Roxbury, into the future bowling building, headquarters for the Boston School Department with ground floor retail, restaurants, and community space. And they were explaining why it was a little bit behind schedule because of the design process. Not 10 minutes in, the mayor was yelling, just yelling at the top of his lungs. He slammed the table, shouted that he didn't care what was holding up the groundbreaking, and that residents in Roxbury needed that economic activity and the opportunities that this new hub would bring, and everyone should get out of the office. I skittered out with the group, my first time even seeing the mayor in person, a couple days into being in City Hall, and was running back to my desk when someone stopped me. Kairos Shen, now director here at the Center for Real Estate, but then then Director of Planning for the Boston Redevelopment Authority, said, welcome to City Hall. Kairos took me under his wing, and eventually City Hall began to feel like home. That first meeting was a little jarring, but I saw Mayor Menino's point, and I saw the passion that he brought to that conversation. He didn't care about the details of the building's design or what materials we used if debating those aesthetics meant that residents in Roxbury would be deprived of the economic and community benefits in the meantime. That is to say, everything you sketch, plan, shape, and build, the spaces and places we create, they're empty without people. Not just literally, but in terms of their energy and purpose and spirit. Because it's ultimately about what the space fosters and creates for people that gives it life, meaning, and power. That understanding drove the work of Boston legends like the late Mel King and Tani Lee, who made their academic home here, shaping generations of leadership. Mel King, who said, "Love is the question and the answer," the father of so much affordable housing in Boston and beyond, the first Black mayoral finalist in Boston, who taught us that community development work is not academic or theoretical, but something to be lived. And Tani Lee, former head of DUSP, who once said, "Architecture is just architecture. Who do you build for?" Tani spent his life answering that question through his work in Chinatown. Years before I moved to the South End and had the honor of brunching with Mel and Miss Joyce King, before I had the chance to sit with Tani and hear all the stories about Chinatown, when I was a college kid from the Midwest, homesick for home, discovering Boston for the first time, Chinatown was the first place that I found myself drawn to. Walking under the gate, smelling the food in the air, hearing neighbors calling out to each other, parents shouting from the doorways at kids running through the streets, seeing the aunties and akongs playing mahjong in the park, and I knew I might one day have a community here as well. Tani dedicated his career to chronicling and preserving that community, the community that raised him. And his work, like Mel's, focused on people at the heart of place, centering their needs and wants, bringing a curiosity about their concerns, and sharing their hopes and dreams. Their legacies live on in the young planner from Amherst, charged with revitalizing Roxbury, who grew up in public housing, never thinking he'd come to a school like this one, until he did. Now, your fellow alum, Arthur Jemison, serves as our Chief of Planning and Director of the Boston Planning and Development Agency. And alongside our Chief of Staff, Tiffany Chu, who came to MIT to study architecture and left determined to revolutionize the way cities think about transportation, together, they are helping chart a more equitable force for our city's future. It's a future we need all of you to help build with the curiosity and compassion, creativity, and commitment to community that this place has instilled and strengthened in you. As the first mom elected mayor of Boston, I know sometimes it's quite messy at home, lots of laundry. I know sometimes the best way to plan for the future is to ask those who will be living in it. So earlier this year, I wrote a letter to some of my hardest to please constituents, our kindergartners. The letter was about their final projects in a unit on construction and design in the Boston Public Schools, kind of like a thesis or dissertation, but without the all-nighters. And I asked them, what ideas do you have to make Boston safer, fairer, and more interesting for kids? And like Mel and Tani, they answered with their work, building models of their visions, which I got to see up close a few weeks ago. There was a trampoline in one project that was big enough to fit everyone in Boston at the same time. There was an indoor park for the winter time. One project had an owl sanctuary where at night the birds are released to hunt rats. We get the message on city services. There were several projects with homes for kids who needed homes. Also, several with arcades for free ice cream. But the common theme in almost every project was an imagining of essential services that were accessible to everyone. There were no goals to build the tallest building or the widest field, No insistence on flashy materials or being the first or the biggest or the most famous. Kindergartners don't want to be starchitects. They want free access to green spaces, free housing, free transportation, and like all of us, free food. As 5-year-old Yasmin was showing me her free food farm, I told her that actually later that day, I would cut the ribbon on a brand new food forest in Mattapan. And her eyes opened wide as she realized her dream could be built in real life. The Edgewater Food Forest is a beautiful refuge, 3 years in the making, as neighbors had dreamed of much more for a long vacant lot in the community. The stewards walked me by the berry bushes, pear trees, and life-giving plants free for all to tend to and pick from. And they told me the first step in realizing this dream had been to ask what people wanted, sending out surveys and hearing back about benches and fences and a pavilion to host arts performances. Then they led me to the pawpaw tree, the centerpiece of the food forest, one of the largest native fruit trees in the country, nurtured with love and pride, and this little sapling would grow up really big one day. They told me that the pawpaw tree here in Mattapan won't bear fruit for at least 10 years. But after that, its fruit blossoms in clusters, enough for Yasmin and her family and many others to share. We come into this world actively wanting what's best for others, with an intuitive desire for the whole community to get what they need to be happy, healthy, and whole. Mel King and Tunny Lee realized early on the importance of preserving that part of themselves and cultivating it in their students, not letting society erode away the pure, unadulterated, hopeful humanity we possess from the moment we're born. It's that same theory of practice that you all have absorbed in your time here, and that fuels our work at the city and across our neighborhoods. A focus on putting people first, delivering what they need and deserve, as our youngest residents so naturally know and our community leaders seek to do every day. From fare-free buses and climate-resilient infrastructure to historic investments in affordable housing and food forests that advance racial justice, climate justice, economic justice, all at the same time, we are proud to be doing this work, and we hope you will join us. Unfortunately, I can't make promises about owls and free ice cream. But the problems that we face today, that all of you will take on, demand that we move with more urgency than just one vacant lot at a time, which is where all of you come in. We need thinkers, planners, designers committed to prioritizing people and willing to try new things to do it. Things like giving away 150 plots of land for free, so long as high-quality, affordable homes will be built on them by local developers. Using city property to co-locate housing and public assets, like in the West End, Chinatown, and Upham's Corner, where we're building affordable housing on top of libraries. Investing in retrofits to make our public housing in Boston entirely fossil fuel-free by the end of the decade. We are asking ourselves the questions that you have spent your years here considering. What empowers people to thrive in their day-to-day lives? And does what we're building do that? Last fall, we unveiled City Hall's new plaza. We added trees and plants, permeable pavement, and made it fully accessible for the first time in many decades. But mostly, we tried to emulate at scale what Mel King did for me and so many others, what Tunny Lee did for Chinatown, and what all of you did for each other in the Zoom years before ever setting foot on campus. Creating space for one another, to talk about books and movies, to check in and connect and build relationships. You promised each other, you will have community here. So we made space for the people of Boston. More than 200,000 square feet that since reopening has hosted fitness classes and art exhibits, night markets, flag raisings, dance battles. We know the most resilient communities in terms of health and safety and happiness are communities where people know and love one another. That's why I believe the key to saving our democracy is block parties. We want to nurture that spirit in every neighborhood where people come together looking differently, speaking differently, worshiping differently, voting differently, because of a same shared stake in a sense of place. And we want to see that throughout every neighborhood in the city. It's what we're building on City Hall Plaza so that the next time someone has to come to City Hall for some dreaded appointment, they'll walk through the plaza, see friends and neighbors dancing or playing music, sharing food and conversation, and be reminded that this place belongs to them too. And when they enter City Hall, maybe they'll see spaciousness in the ceilings and beauty in the walls. I want to close by acknowledging that there are thousands of graduate schools out there that could teach you how to build a building, design a space, or master the latest techniques in microfabrication. Shout out to all the Media Lab graduates. But of all your options, you chose this place, its people, and its values. Values that set it apart, that ask you to consider what kind of impact you want to have on the world, and if what you're building is moving you closer to having that impact. You were born with your most important skills, and you've spent the last several years deepening, protecting, and rediscovering them. The love you feel for each other, for your community, the purpose and passion you find in your work, the determination and drive to make this world a place where people have what they need to be happy, healthy, and whole. I don't need to tell this group that technology is fast eclipsing our ability to do many things. And in a world eager to embrace the efficiency that comes with automation, mechanization, digitization, microfabrication, I encourage all of you to focus even more on the parts that cannot be reproduced or replaced. Not so much the work as the ethos you bring to it. Who are you building for? Now, selfishly, I hope your answer is the people of Boston, because you're going to stay, you're going to come work with us, you're going to stay rooted in the city. Broadly, I know the answer will come as it does through your work, and that people all over the world will benefit. To the class of 2023, you will always have community here. Congratulations, good luck, and we can't wait to cheer you on along the way.
Boston forever. Mayor Wu, thank you very much for laying out your bold vision for our graduating class and for sharing your optimism with us. Your speech and your work is truly living evidence that it is action that generates hope, not the other way around. So thank you very much for sharing your hopes and actions with us. In a few minutes, you will have about 200 fully diploma, decorated, and ready graduates to join your ranks. Just show us the kite. Now for the part you came all here for. The faculty of the School of Architecture and Planning are declared convened, together with this assembly, for the conferring of master's degrees, doctorate degrees, and academic hoods. The academic hood is a symbol of dedication to scholarship and attainment of the doctoral requirements defined by the Academy. We are proud to introduce MIT's newest scholars who will join the ranks of our colleagues worldwide. With your graduation today, the faculty of this institution recognize the achievement of our advanced degree candidates, and we welcome you as peers.
Presenting degrees for the Department of Architecture, please welcome Associate Professor Timothy Hyde. Master of Architecture.
Aus Abu Ras. Latifa Khalil Al Hayat. Nada Al Mula. Arthur Boscoli Salas Rodriguez. Tim Cousin. Patricia Duenas Garrettson. Olivier Faber. Julian Geltman. Paul Thorin Gruber. Esther Mojolaol Idowu. Jason Kim. Zachariah Kish DeJulio. Katie Koski. Angela Lesher Montal. Samuel May. Sasha McKinley. Sasha Moreau. Yoon Jae Oh. Natalie Pearl. Vijay Rajkumar. Ardalan Sadeghi Kivi. Tristan Seawright. Jin Yong Shim. Benjamin Tasistro Hart. Chloe Wang Yun. Emily Jane Wisman. Wu Hao Qian. Ziyan Zhang.
Master of Science in Architecture Studies.
Subu Bandari. Luna Bo Ghanem. Dimitrios Chatsinikolas. Doris Ching Yi Duan Mu. Ganit Goldstein. Mark Hernandez Cornejo. Pramada Jagtap. Jensen Avery Johnson. Il Hwan Kim. Katerina Labro. Yi Wei Liu. Kevin Malca Vargas. Cushy Nancy. Pimpakarn Ratana Tomawat. Rohit Santani. Zachary Shoemaker. Nanase Shirokawa. Jahanzeb Shoab. Afi Deborah Chobi. Han To. Mona Vijay Kumar. Sarin Voskerichian. Ray Wang. Jiaqi Wang. Ziyuan Zhu.
Master of Science in Art, Culture, and Technology.
Christopher Benton. Cristobal Garcia Belmont. Ishraki Kazi. Hua Liu. Jose Medina Bickford. Ashmi Mridul. Su Yan Moon. Christy Neptune. Hyun Park. Luca Sinise.
Master of Science in Building Technology.
Juliana Berglund Brown. Leila Raja Chili Sohi.
Investing hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture, please welcome Professor Nicholas DeMoncho, Department Head.
Christiana Susan Bonin. Alexandra Corcola. Nushel De Silva. Duigu Demir. Mohammed Abdelbagi Ismail. Eliyahu Keller. Caroline Murphy. Wenjia Peng. Diego Ignacio Pinochet Fuentes.
Presenting degrees for the Department of Urban Studies and Planning, Please welcome Professor of the Practice of Civic Development, Caesar McDowell. Master in City Planning,
Alexander J. Bokan Gibod. Shaler Campbell.
Maria Daniela Castillo,
Yu Chen Chai. Dylan Cohen. John Devine. Mokhtar Njiro Fall. Ruo Ming Fang. Abby Fulham. Rebecca Glasgow. Jonathan Go. Shivali Gowda. Shannon L. X. Hasenfratz. Melissa Isidore. Sarah Kalish. Ipshita Karmakar. Sarah P. Lomar. J. Maddox. Idelcia Rebecca Mapuri. Tara Zareen Motadi. Jimena Mucio. Pan Yinggu. Ana Maria Perez Carrillo. Pratiwi Prameswari. Daniel Pratama. Romy Saint Hilaire. Amelia C. Siebold. Ilana Strauss. Michaela Stretch. Flavio Vila Skrishipek. Elaine Wang. Rose Weiner Chan. Lillian Shea.
Master of Science in Urban Studies and Planning.
Christina Last.
Master of Science in Transportation.
Paris Cheritaros. Yuju Huang. Daniel O'Neill. Emma Swarney.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy in Urban Studies and Planning, please welcome Professor P. Christopher Zegras.
Jungwoo Chun. Sylvia Danielak. Asmet El Gamel. Daniel Engelberg. Babak Manucheri Far. So Young Park. Ariana Salazar Miranda. Darian Alexander Williams.
Presenting degrees for the Master of Science in Real Estate Development on behalf of the MIT Center for Real Estate, please welcome Professor Siqi Zheng, Program Head.
Gregory Bonomo. Daryl Burton. Christopher Carr. Alberto Cuellar Cerrón. Elahe Demicheli. Raquel Ganitsky White. William Giedema. Gottfried Hanschke. Ziyuan Shan Hu. Ashley Katz. Tae-Yong Kim. Stephen La. Eileen Chow Jin Lai. Carson Land. Ravisara Lert Punyarol. Mihir Menda. Riley Knuckle. Akrisht Pandi. Benjamin Perryman. Rahul Sharad Raipeli. Sharmika Roberts. Luis Rodriguez Escalante. Catherine Salvatore. Zachary Vaughn. Corazon Wamakima. Francis Weiss. Ze Hao Yo. Sharina Jiang.
Presenting degrees for the program in Media, Arts, and Sciences, please welcome Professor Joseph Paradiso. Master of Science.
Walid Akbar. Ido Kalman. Laura Chicos. Jason Ho. Sophie Klinghofer. Kimaya Lekamwasam. David Price.
Master of Science in Media, Arts, and Sciences.
Justin Blinder. Valdemar Danry. Asta Shah. Kevin Frederick Donnell. Kathy Mungying Fang. Dana Gretton. Aisha Angela M. Guvenilir. Shivam Kajali. Jocelyn J. Shen. Miana Smith. Kushagra Tiwari. Rachel Walker. Xiajie Zhang.
Investing hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy in Media, Arts, and Sciences, please welcome Professor Todd Mackover, Academic Head.
Guillermo Bernal Corriez. Daniel Kalachi. Juliana Churston. Pedro Colon Hernandez.
Ziv Epstein.
Matthew Groh. Adam Har Horowitz. Caroline Adair Jaffe. Deborah Najjar. Anastasia Ostrowski. Jack Burnett Reed. Taewon Shin. Samuel Spalding.
Please welcome Associate Deans Caroline Jones and Larry Vail to the lectern for closing remarks.
So dean's offices like ours have several important leaders that are called assistant deans, whose assistance is vital to supporting people, funding, and events like this one. As the somewhat different titles that Caroline and I have may suggest, that we often associate with the dean, so our level of assistance seems somehow less assumed. We try. Today, I'm particularly delighted to associate with the newest set of doctoral graduates in our schools. So I want to collectively invite our faculty colleagues to salute you collectively. So you doctoral students are now duly hooded alums. Don't say that quickly, though, because it can sound like a little criminal. Hoodlums, perhaps. We don't want to be accused of nurturing those. I observed this year, for the second time, we've added to the sartorial splendor of the graduating master's students in hues of red and green and blue and orange and white. In a world of excessive discord, your new neckwear offers hope of accord. These mystic chords of memory, to misquote Lincoln, are open-ended, so there are no strings attached. But fortunately, if you need to feel grounded, your new kites are designed to permit just that. So faculty colleagues, you're invited to join me one more time to collectively salute the master's graduates.
I'm so incredibly happy to be here. I'm still celebrating the post-COVID thing. And I want to bask in your justified pride and to celebrate with your family and friends. While you're sitting for a few more moments, I want to help us think about space-time. So helping me do that is a prop, both literal and figurative. We humans are a little bit ambivalent about props. Props contribute to theatrical fakery, to false support for tottering regimes, to the mere appearance of self-sufficiency. But my prop is so obvious in its fairly hideous utility, people need to redesign this, to be visible and sympathy-inducing that maybe it neutralizes our prejudices against props. For me, it prompts thoughts about how we inhabit space and time, two of the mediums you have learned to master, from histories to analytics to making, here in the School of Architecture and Planning. When I turned left at the bottom of the stairs at my house and my knee kind of went right, the tear in my meniscus was both painful but instructive. I had many afterthoughts, otherwise known as regrets. I had been rushing down those stairs in a tizzy of forethought, otherwise known as plans. What lies between forethought and afterthought, plans and regrets? Perhaps we can capture this state of equipoise as commencement, the state before beginning. You are in this place, beautifully poised between all the forethought you brought to your education and all the after-thinking you did in order to make sense from your classes and learn from your time at MIT. Take this wonderful punctum between apogee and perigee simply to celebrate where you are. Let the after and forethoughts be a calm sea of pasts and possibilities that are there to buoy you right here, right now. Like the mindful steps I'll be crafting at every stair tread, if you plan at all, plan to use your props proudly while being present to the place and time you are. It's been an enormous privilege to learn from you and with you during your time at MIT and your adventures in the School of Architecture and Planning. Be here now, commencing.
I can always count on Caroline to raise a little cane. As she suggests, please do celebrate where you are for at least a few more moments. As we move on to the next celebration, we ask that guests remain in your seats until our faculty and graduates have egressed to the lobby, and then join us for the reception in the tent just outside this building. Congratulations to all.